champions can be pretty dangerous, especially someone who can get tanky and still do damage like Darius. So Sauron, I mean, if you guys want to pick Sejuani, we'd love to see Sejuani again, but as always, I've been trained now to never get excited about uncommon highlights because they always break my heart, and Gander's heart even more.
Well, still have 30 seconds on this timer, so plenty of time. Oh, and there we go. There we go. At least it's not the tournament client, because you try and do some of those troll lock-ins and
Yeah.
really screwed up real fast.
Alright, so Brand getting locked in. And Brand's, been steadily on the rise, I would say, as one of the stronger mages in Dominion. I think it's really the dot that does it for a lot of people. Anyone with a dot, you can put that sweeper on them, or even now, I guess Blackfire Torch. Although there's been a lot of mathcraft around that, and people were saying it's not necessarily worth it, depending on the champion. But dots are good. Dots are always good, and with Dominion, I guess again, Gander says this, and I really like that he does. He tells people this, is that while it is a lot of team fights, it's all about who can prolong the team fight, who can stall the enemy team longer. It's all about who can bring out their CLG EU from deep within, and dots help with that.
Definitely, and being able to keep those dots up and keep them running. And there aren't really, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, there's not a lot of dot casters that have that strength. There's Cassiopeia, you have Brand. Both of them are kind of squishy. Put in something like it's getting turned into Haunting Guys is one of those things that can really help beef up some of these dot casters that are pretty fragile. But seeing a quick Israel lock-in over on +5, so a familiar pick was Zhao over on Chizinema.
Alright, and then that Evelyn coming out. On that note, yeah, that is my bad. Like I told you, have not been up on my League of Legends news nor playing, and you are correct. I forget who mentioned it in chat, but the dot sweeper doesn't happen anymore. You're absolutely correct, and that makes me sad because it was such a nice, I guess, innovation. But yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. But Blackfire Torch is there, and that procs it. But again, there's been a lot of discussion on, is that worth it? Is it better to just get more of the upfront burst? A lot of people, I think, are leaning towards, after they have done the research, leaning towards more. Usually it's just better to get that upfront burst unless you're looking for a certain style. And again, that's what may be Dominion's key for the Blackfire Torch, is that, again, you're trying to stall the team fights, you're trying to make sure people don't cap, you're trying to basically be annoying as possible to the enemy team, and the Torch may help there.
Are we gonna see a Kale? She's easily one of my favorite champions. One of the first that I started playing, so would not mind seeing her play.
She's really good, especially obviously because of intervention, and also some good utility. And she does have that slight speed boost. Anyone with a speed buff really is amazing, or mobility, I should say, is really good on the Crystal Scar. So people with blinks, people with speed boosts, and if you come by often to dominate Dominion, you will hear about Pooters quite often. Pooter's one of the more infamous summoners for having his own style of play, always likes to play champions like Zillion and just zip around the map and pretty much bait the entire enemy team to chasing him and not playing the objective.
Yeah, and so I had heard earlier somebody being surprised that Lulu didn't get banned out, and I see another person in chat pointing that out. Any reason why she's particularly strong?
I think it's really just her overall kit that comes into play. Again, she's also one of those champions that has a speed boost, and it's actually pretty effective on that Whimsy. She has really long range poke with Glitter Lance, which can also do some good damage, but the more important part is she can stay out of danger and disrupt, tower channels or storm shield channels, the relic channels down in the middle of the map. And then, of course, help picks for the extra damage or the shield is always nice. And wild growth. I mean, anyone with such a huge shield or extra health kind of buff onto teammates, allies, or themselves is really good in team fights because it's very deceiving. I mean, a lot of people, of course, these are the top players in their game modes, and they know about these abilities, but still, in the heat of battle, sometimes you forget, and then suddenly, let's say, Singed in the middle of the fight, and Singed gets huge and suddenly knocks everyone up, and everyone's already in the poison trail, and now he has even more health, and he's regenerating with Insanity Potion. Just gets really annoying, and again, that helps stall. I mean, you keep someone alive, and that means they're going to be doing more damage. The enemy's going to focus on them longer, and that gives you more time to maybe reposition, reset, or finish off the fight and get an objective. And of course, I mean, sometimes I think the instinct is to just use it on the carry to save them. But again, with Lulu, I think a lot of people are realizing, that knock up is pretty good. You can use it for some joint initiation if you're in the lead.
And we are waiting on this delay, and I'm noticing Sauron, who ended up picking up that Kale, has exhaust on top of having his Q, so that's going to be a very strong slow. Whether or not he builds or goes for a more support build or for a more damage build, but like you're saying, lots of speed. You have the Ezreal Arcane Shift. You have Jarvan with his I don't know what ability it is because I haven't played Jarvan. I believe Evelyn has her W and Kale has her W. And what over on there's Singed, but you don't chase Singed. You just don't.
That's true. I
But
mean, chasing Singed is never a good idea. Number one way to lose games: chase Singed or chase Teemo. One of them. Don't chase
yeah,
either of those guys.
don't run through the bushes and ARAM with Teemo. Worst idea ever. Get some attack speed, get some AP. One of the few champions you really see that getting built on, but it's effective if you for dying.
For sure. Vayne getting picked up by Cheese Enema. Vayne's been one of the more dominant ranged AD carries on the Crystal Scar alongside Ezreal. I think it's still waiting to be seen if Ezreal's going to kind of fall off even on the Crystal Scar just because of that nerf on his, Essence Flux, taking away that debuff. I know a lot of people, their instinct is to try away from him, at least on Summoner's Rift, because that helped you duel a lot. But his key point is still his mobility and his poke, and that's still there. I mean, you still have Arcane Shift, you still have Mystic Shot, and of course on the Crystal Scar with walls everywhere. As Gander always likes to say, those who can ignore walls are the best champions on Dominion.
Well, and he has the global presence of his ultimate, which is nice. What you were saying with, or who was saying it? Maybe I believe it was you with Ash's ult,
Yeah,
where it has some importance with the global effectiveness considering the map. But I think Israel's is a little bit stronger in regards to Ash because it goes across the map, it does the damage, and yeah, she has the slow, but put a phage on him, put some or get somebody in there like Jarvan, and that's not too sorely missed.
definitely. It is also a little bit wider range, and like you said, it goes through everyone. So if they're on opposite sides of the tower, but you can line it up, you can interrupt both. And interruption is key on the Crystal Scar. You don't want people channeling on your towers. You want to keep them, and that's how you win games. I mean, same thing with Summoner's Rift, right? In the end, it's an objective game. In the end, it's about taking towers. I just think on Summoner's Rift, it's a little bit more of a bigger deal to get the farm, to get the kills, because you don't have the automatically generated golden experience. But in the end, objective mode games.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what you're getting. I notice a lot of map movement, getting in the middle, not too worried about getting the minions farmed up, or you see that in bot lane, but bot lane mostly gets left to their own devices as long as they can hold everyone off and while everyone else goes up to top and battles it out. And and you still don't get to see the diamond portrait. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys, step it up. Get that. Who here has diamond? You should make a team and join Dominate Dominion, so that I can cast your game and get to see the diamond border, because I for sure do not have it. I definitely do not have it.
Seen some nice skins up there. The Judgment Kale. That's the skin I like to use. It's
Judgment Kale, huh?
veterans.
I have
Yeah.
the silver Kale, so just
Oh
just because
wow.
it's no longer available, it's like my favorite skin.
What a cool kid.
I'm a hipster. I had it before it was cool.
So now we have proof on live stream that you're a hipster.
It's down in the records.
It's
Chobra is
down
a
in the
hipster.
records.
All right, so while
Um,
we wait, let's just introduce the teams real quick. I'll go ahead and introduce the blue team, which is Point Defense or Plus5. They have Sauron on Kale. We have High Peoples on Brand, Zabers on Evelyn, Maggie Melkor on Ezreal, and Necrogen on Jarvan. Who do we have on the other side of the map?
we have Lurch on Zinzao again. We have Chavez Obama on Warwick, Braun Bruiser on Vayne, Oryx on Lulu, and Craig on Singed. Their laughs going.
Having a joyful time before the battle begins, laughing it all off.
I was slightly distracted by Gander's ancient monitor picture that he put up in chat.
That guy.
Proving me wrong about the TI-82, but not by much.
So again, pretty standard start by both teams. That's the other reason why I really liked Enema. If I'm not mistaken, it was Cheese Enema who, in one of the finals, decided to attempt a 4-bot start to just hard gank the bottom lane, take the 3 cap away from the bottom, and then push back up top. Some good innovation coming out. But we are seeing some poke going down already at the windmill.
Yeah, getting some back and forth, but Chavez Obama manages to get up top. We now have this 4v4 as Singed and Kale battle out on bot. Lurch is trying to come around this edge as Evelyn is stealth. Looks like she's in may be winning this. Oh, and there they go, getting their first blood onto. Oh, yeah, we have Red getting first blood onto somebody. Oh, Vayne getting her silver bullets on Evelyn. Oh, and Lurch comes in. Oh,
Lurch is still alive. Finally goes down to Maggie Melkor, and then we do see Jarvan coming in doing cleanup with that revive. Can Chavez Obama live?
Yeah, I mean they managed to take this tower, but Chavez Obama is staying too long under tower. He's getting chased down by Necrogen, he manages to get away just barely as we see Lurch and Warwick's coming back up top to try and contest this point while they're capturing it. Oh, and we have Evelyn going down. Are we gonna see? Oh, the double kill by Zinzao onto Brand, and now Necrogen's getting exhausted. Oh, and is he gonna manage to get away from this one?
Not gonna come back to try to delay as long as possible. Again, it's all about the tower delay. But what I really liked seeing from Cheese Enema, again, they just leave it up to Lurch in the very beginning to dive in and completely push back the fight, and then they'll trade off going back to the windmill to get that early cap. This time it was a little bit more dangerous than going up against Tour Tall Grass. We did see Point Defense coming back with that quick revive coming out from Necrogen and going for that cleanup, but it didn't quite go through.
And Craig is down in bot lane, about to get ganked by Evelyn and Kale. The Chavez Obama comes in to save the day, and Kale goes down, and Evelyn may get a clean getaway from this, but they're probably going to recapture the tower point. Oh, no, she decides she wants to stay, and Braun Bruiser just goes in at her. Warwick's up in top lane is getting chased down. Oh, yeah, gets chased down by Bran. Lurch is maybe gonna dance around, but I don't think he doesn't think point. So, Plus5 manages to take that windmill, but Kale is now back in bot lane, and
yeah. I mean, we're seeing a lot of back and forth between these two teams, and that's why it's always the later in the tournament we go, it is a little bit more exciting. We see a lot more, I guess, skirmishes rather than all-in team fights. Teams deciding, some fights are just not worth it. Right there, you said, is Lurch going to go back in? He decides, you know what? I'll just wait for my team. We had an earlier lead. We can get back in this. It's still 450 to 446. Not a big deal. You really want to keep track of that because in the beginning of any Dominion match, you do take points off the enemy nexus for kills and things like that, rather than only towers. So you can try to regroup and set up as we see Chavez Obama coming here. He's going to go around. Are they going to jump on Maggie Melkor? He's way ahead of his team though, so he needs to watch out. And he's going to still just chase on. There he goes. He times it perfectly for Wowies to come in.
Yeah, and they managed to get them caught out. Jarvan's ult comes down. He doesn't have enough space. There's the Wild Growth onto Brown Bruiser. Vayne just chunking him down with her silver bullets. We finally have, it looks like Brand catching up. He had been split off a little bit too far from his team, trying to dance around with Kayle and Singed and bot, and he ends up dying for his efforts. Got a shutdown by Magimelkor onto Vayne, and he may end up dying for that too, and still not get this point. It's just, like you said, delay. And then Singed goes down to Sauron as he's taking this quest point. Just action everywhere.
Yeah, Krayog is going to want to disrupt this. He goes ahead, and good thing Singed can just clear out minions like a boss, because minions take towers quite often here on the Crystal Scar. They're going to leave, actually, Chavez Obama to go ahead and channel on that while Krayog makes sure that Sauron backs off all the way. But he's taking a lot of damage being kited by Sauron right now.
Yeah, Sauron just knows that the Kayle combo, that QE, just chunking people down, slow them for days. And looking into, let's see, we have 2 Zeals and a Prospector's Blade, definitely. Just easily makes that E so overpowered.
And we do see that point defense actually going to go ahead and get the neutral with the help of the minions, and Brown Bruiser gets caught. That's not a good sign for Cheese Enema.
And Chavez Obama comes back out, trying to get onto this Evelynn. Lurch is chasing down onto Brand, but he's not getting a whole lot in for his efforts. But, and Brand goes down, Lurch goes down, Chavez Obama getting exhausted. He's probably not going to make it out of this alive. Evelynn comes in, and then Magimelkor ends up cleaning it up, so they're taking back over this windmill point. Down in bot lane, still have that quest point up, and Kayle just dancing around, but looks like she's going to maybe go back and buy.
Yep, maybe we'll see what the next item is here. If any at all, actually going to go ahead and get that Vampiric Scepter, so now starting to build something other than Zeals. That's nice to see some variation. Meanwhile, we do see that the Hextech Sweeper is finished here on the Enema side, and we don't have it even prepared as far as I can tell yet on the side of point defense. We might see it coming out from Evelynn with that Ruby Crystal and Amtone, but I would say more likely to go for the Haunting, as we do see Obama coming in to disrupt the channel on the Rune, but Brown Bruiser is going to get caught out a little bit here.
Oh, yeah, we're getting a little bit of dancing around. Works comes in with some of that poke from his picks. Evelynn, they managed to capture that Rune, and Kayle went up to help, but got nothing for her efforts. So just allowing Krayog to get some of this farm down in bot lane. Meanwhile, minions up in top were managing to take a little bit off of this windmill point, but it's easily cleared up by our blue team. +5.
Yep, a good Garrison coming out. There was no one else around, but they just wanted to make sure it healed back up really quickly against those minions. Huge minion wave, making sure to clear that up. Again, Garrison has that secondary effect of not only breaking channels, but giving extra regeneration, and depending on whether you're using it offense or defense, it affects how the tower attacks. So you want to keep that in mind when using Garrison. We do see high people setting up here. Zabers is next to him, and I'm not sure if Cheese Enema is aware of this. Chavez Obama does get stunned, but we do see +5 backing off because the entire team of Cheese Enema is here down at bottom. They do go ahead and start the fight.
Chavez Obama going in on Brand. And High Peoples goes down, and Kayle goes down. Are we about to see? We see the Jarvan ult come out from Necrogen, and Israel, Magimelkor ends up getting a double kill. Evelynn getting a double kill. Zabers may end up going down to Krayog here, though, as he dances around underneath this turret. He's just getting kited all sorts of different directions. Singed slow and manages to shut down, but he might end up losing his point for this. Oh, and there he goes. So he ended up trading 1 for 1, but loses that point, and that's Nexus health, and Sauron's back up and is able to help him so that Magimelkor can return to base.
Yeah, I mean, that was I would say a little bit debatable, but Krog did make the right choice in the end to use that garrison and prolong as possible. That gave Obama the easy capture up at Windmill for Enema because everyone was still focused on coming back to help out at the quarry there in the bottom portion of the map. Really good fight. We saw some good abilities coming out. I especially like that Necrogen's ultimate. It didn't do the best job of trapping, but it did divide the fight enough to kind of put a pause in after he picked up the kill and then allowed him to come out with the knockup combo to restart the fight. Lurch going in on Zabers.
I managed to get some nice poke in, but quickly disengaged, looking to re-engage up at this tower point, and he's just getting melted. He's probably going to end up going down to Necrogen. Goes down to Necrogen. Zaber's going down, but not enough. And Warwick's and Chavez Obama are just trying to escape with their lives in the situation. Necrogen chasing gets slowed by Lulu, and they managed to make a clean, mostly clean getaway. A little bit of blood and gore from their teammates left over, but you know.
Meanwhile, down at bottom, it's back to a little bit of a stalemate situation, and that's usually what bot lane is. It's a farm fest until teams decide to gank. More and more teams that we've been seeing focusing on bot lane ganks, so we'll see if that happens again. We did see that huge fight at the quarry on the left side of the map. Meanwhile, the Storm Shield is up for +5, and we see Necrogen camping out next to it. I wonder if they're going to try to set up for a capture and then go for a fight. They are in position, but they're spread out, and Chavez Obama is going to find high peoples. He is going to get stunned, though.
And it looks like he's going to get killed for his shovels. I've seen a barrier come out. Lurch is just trying to get out. And there goes Necrogen's ult as Brown Bruiser goes down. They're trying to chase down Warwick's. Got 3 people onto his tail. Wild Growth and Krog may end up helping him, but ends up... See Lulu go down. See Kale ends up going down. Imagine Melkor is just going to sit back here and poke happily. Huge strength with Israel being able to poke, like we were talking about earlier during the picks. Just dancing around here by Krog, trying to put his poison down, and it's just not doing him a whole lot of good, getting poked from a couple of different directions and getting his minions pushed back against his own tower. Meanwhile, Lurch and Necrogen are trying to battle it out, and it looks like Necrogen may end up going down. Oh, and we got a juke in there, and picks up the heal. What a boss. And Krog ends up going down to Magic Melkor, gets a nice Q off on him. Meanwhile, Chavez Obama is taking back over that point, and right now, +5 has 3 points. She's in a finally got 2 back. They've been sitting at 1 for a little while, but even minions are contesting one of their points at this.
Yeah, it's not looking too good at the drill. I think it is going to get neutralized for just a few seconds here before Lurch can recapture it. Because of all that splitting up of team fights, we did see Enema able to capture the windmill back, and the score's at 316 to 266. So it's still a fairly close game compared to what we're used to seeing, but the next few fights are really going to determine who gets to snowball it from here on out. It's been fairly even back and forth from one fight to another. But I would say +5 has a little bit of the upper hand. They've been utilizing their team composition a little bit better, and my god, Necrogen has been having some really good cataclysms.
Definitely, and we see them trying to initiate up here at the windmill, and there goes that cataclysm, just like you said. Those terrific ults, seeing the Vayne ult come out as well as she tries to stealth and take this windmill back over. And down in bot lane, Saren's just being able to QE Krog all day long.
And we do see Warwick's trying to run away, trying to protect Lurch, but it might not be worth it. They're actually both going back to try to save each other, and they end up giving the triple kill to Evelyn, to Zabers. Meanwhile, bottom, Krog and Sauron just chilling out, farming, not caring about what happened up top. Brown Bruiser's down here about the... Once they realize that Sauron is gone, are they going to push, or are we going to see Brown Bruiser go back up top? I think they're just going to regroup because the drill is getting pressured by Necrogen. Necrogen needs to watch out. Wywix coming in for the cutoff, but Wywix has no idea that Zabers and High Peoples are right behind. Needs to back away. Not going to get stunned by High Peoples. Very, very close call, though.
That was a terrific disengage by Necrogen. He saw where he was getting pushed in. He had his teammates coming back around, but they may end up... Oh, we got a shutdown by Lurch onto our +5's Evelyn. As Branch is getting just chased down, High People is coming in here to this quest point. Brown Bruiser may end up getting...
Oh, does have to back off after the channel there, but the exhaust on Magic Melkor is going to be a disadvantage. And there's the Essence Flux, but again, no more attack speed Diva, but an excellent Pyroclasm coming out from High People is going to get both kills, a double kill for High Peoples. I'd say that is one of the better brand ults we've seen.
Definitely. It was a very close fight up at that point, and just managed to stall them off long enough in order to get people in and out of that fight. And picked up some nice clean kills, managed to keep the point. They're not too worried about their Nexus health, at 100 points up, so about to come in and maybe play a little bit of turtle, looks like. They can't contest this top point. Not doing too good of a job of it anyway.
Yeah, and we are going to see Necrogen alone for the time being, but again, are we going to see the cutoff coming up from Zabers? Zabers gets Chavez Obama down a little bit, but going to disengage. Not too big of a deal right there, but High Peoples has that Storm Shield. That's going to be really dangerous up against Cheese Enema, and we do see the great wave clear also coming out from Plus5's team. I mean, I think Plus5 is hard to break down right now as a 4v4. I would say Cheese Enema might have a better chance spreading out, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see. Lurch is going to go ahead and go for the refinery. Plus5 senses this. They know that everyone disappeared, and they're all spreading out from the windmill. We do see two people hitting up the speed train at bottom, and that's going to give the cue for Sauron to back off. A lot of good team communication being seen. Zabers is going to get caught out by Lurch, though.
Yeah, and oh, and we ended up getting a kill for Brown Bruiser out on that. Oh, and Chavez Obama gets that ult out, but Necrogen just tanking it.
Bang, just bouncing back and forth. Really good Pyroclasm. Again, I actually didn't think it was going to bounce as much, but it just picked the right target every time. Brown Bruiser getting down really low from High Peoples. Again, going to go down from that. So much damage over time coming out with the combination of the Blackfire Torch and already Brand's passive. Going to melt down the entire team of Cheese Enema.
And down in bot lane, Sauron had a terrific ult, managed to just keep chunking down Krog, and right underneath his own tower, got an easy kill there. And up in top lane, there's such great. You see that ult go out on Lulu, and they see it happen. They switch targets, and it's terrific communication between Plus5's members. And even we have Sabers down here who's contesting this point and getting her health chunk down, but no fear. Just High People coming in, Kale coming in. They're probably going to get a nice, easy kill. Despite the fact that Chavez Obama comes in, ults her, and she disengages. And up at top lane, Brown Bruiser and Lurch may end up taking this over.
Yeah, Necrogen going to just sit around to try to delay. Does get delayed right as Maggie Milker comes up. They're going to pick up the kill into Lurch. Can Maggie Milker finish off the fight, though? The tower is going to be on his hot side, and Brown Bruiser is going to go down. Not able to disengage with that shot at the end. Double kill going down for Ezreal, and a fight going down again at the Boneyard in the bottom.
High People getting 2 kills out, one onto, I believe, Brandon, one onto Lulu. She almost escaped with that wild growth, but it just wasn't enough. And Sauron's about to chase down Chavez Obama, not even worried about taking those tower hits, as High People's, with hardly any health, ends up, decimated.
Down and assassinated. And Krayog now comes in. Can they get Zabers? Zabers is going to escape, I think. Evelyn's such a slippery champion also with that speed button. There's the Pyroclasm. It's all again going to bounce 3 times in between Wowix and Brown Bruiser. Brown Bruiser barely living with that shield, but there's the cleanup coming up from Ezreal. What a snipe. And Krayog now getting kited. I think he's also going to go down, which means Wowix is free food after that.
It's just the global presence of that Ezreal ult is just... Oh, we have a revive coming out on Chavez Obama for, to no end. Oh, and there, we may end up seeing a kill on the Magic Melkor, but it looks like Chavez Obama is having none of it. He is not interested in having that engagement again.
Meanwhile, up top, oh man, Necrogen thought he could fight Lurch under the tower with the help of the burst from Cataclysm, but Lurch wasn't going to have any of that. Bursted him down even just really quick. I wasn't even expecting that much damage coming up from Lurch, but he did have that Yumi's Ghost Blade to activate. But because of that focus and Chavez Obama going top, the Boneyard is now in danger. True Shot Barrage try to interrupt, but half a second too late. Windmill does go to Cheese Enema, but they lose the Boneyard, and the Drill is now also under pressure. Still a 2-2 cap now, going to turn into a 3-2, maybe even a 4 cap up at the Windmill. I think Plus5 has this in the bag.
I think they do too. It's 264 to 42 right now. Chavez Obama coming in with Lulu's Wild Growth, knocking down Sabers. They may end up getting the kill there. But this point has just really not been theirs during any point of this match. They have tried and tried and tried again, and it's really been unsuccessful. It's been a really good way to give Plus5 some gold in order to build up their own inventory.
It's, yeah, now 260-38, 3-2 cap, but like we just said, I mean, Plus5 pretty much has it in the bag. Again, Sauron just bursting down Krayog, and then turning back to Chandler Tower, now turning back to get the kill, now going to turn back against the Boneyard. Going to get ganked, but that means they get to keep the 3 cap again. It's a game of timing, it's a game of stalling. Sauron knows it's just going to chase, or rather kite away WoWX, and also Chavez Obama getting too zoned in. Tunnel vision, they do see Maggie Milkor coming out from the side. Obama might be able to get the kill here, but Zabers is going to do cleanup if they do. Actually, Milkor is going to jump out. Two-Shot Barrage doesn't finish off though. Vayne picks off the kill. Obama goes on for the Infinite Duress onto Zabers. Can they pick up the kill and maybe get a neutralize? If they can neutralize the Corey really quick, they'll have one more shot at staying in the game. They're going to burst down Sauron. Sauron not, there we go.
Oh,
Intervention
got
at the last minute.
Have Necrogen coming out with the Cataclysm. Nice ult by Sauron. And Chavez Obama is trying to contest this at this neutral point, and we'll see how this goes. Necrogen, not too worried, he's just chasing down Warwicks, and there's the Ezreal ult, knocking Warwicks down, gives Necrogen a nice clean kill, and Chavez Obama just trying to get out with his life at this point, keep some of that Nexus health since they're down to 12 points, and he gets killed for his efforts.
Yeah, I mean, +5, that should be game as soon as Sauron is able to cap this. We do have 2 people for Enema going up at the windmill, but they're going to be delayed by High Peoples as much as possible. And High Peoples knows this, and Krayog actually knows this too, going straight to zone out High Peoples so that Lurch can channel fully. 6 points less, 5. Can he get it? No, he's gonna have to break off, and that is going to be game in favor of +5 as we see a double kill going down for High Peoples.